How about Facebook? It's up more than 20% in the past 3 months, and BTIG says there is no sign of a slowdown. The firm raises its price target today, $275. That's tied for the highest on the street. They love Instagram. What do you guys think of this call?
Makes it $1 trillion company, that's for sure.
It's absurd as 40%.
Yeah, well, I think anyone that's bet against Facebook has been wrong. They seem to continually come back over and over again. And again, I go back to the visit that they had with Europe. The concern was that the EU was going to be strictest on them in terms of regulation, and they were not. And I think they walked away from that feeling pretty good about themselves, and it has rallied ever since. And they seem to be somewhat Teflon when the news comes out about Cambridge and other concerns with privacy.
Yeah. Up $50, that's all. Up $50 since the lows of all the privacy stuff.
Because what changed? Nothing. Advertising is a duopoly, not in the U.S., in the world, basically. Ex-China, where these companies can't get into, Google and Facebook are basically carving the globe down the middle. That doesn't change. And in fact, when you look at the hearings in Europe, Zuckerberg finessed the hell out of these people. They were like taking selfies with him by the time he was leaving. So those are the facts.
Putting him on Instagram.
And by the way, Instagram is only getting stronger. So until that trend changes.
Well, he tried to buy Snap. It didn't. It wasn't successful. So he said, you know what, I'll create something better. And he did, and he's proven it, and he's done it time and time again, Scott. The ability of what they're able to do in all the verticals, this isn't about Facebook. It's about everything else. And I'll tell you what, I think the Instagram TV that they're coming out with is going to be services for Apple. You look at this company, it's traded at 23 times on a forward. It's not expensive. They got incredible cash flows. They are doing whatever they need to. They're spending a lot of money on security. They're doing the right things at the right time. They were late, but now they really are accelerating all that. And I'll tell you what, keep an eye on YouTube versus what he's building right now, and I think you're going to see some dents going into YouTube.
They're going to YouTube influencers and big YouTube accounts, and they're saying you can do 20 minutes worth of video on Instagram now, where you probably already have a following,
and start to create
there still is regulatory risk, though, here, isn't it? They're not. I mean,
GDPR is a bigger risk for a smaller ad company
The market doesn't really seem to care, right? Came back and said, basically, you lied to us about who you were giving information to, giving personal data to. It goes up, the stock's up. Part of that is the index. It's going to go up whenever the index goes up, no matter what the noise is, no matter what the reality is. But it's not expensive.
The reality is that everybody thought the biggest concern in the world was the security issue, and it turns out people weren't as worried, and so that's why they didn't exit the stock. They hit it, they hit the doors, and then all of a sudden the buyers walk back in and they haven't left.
Weiss, if I gave you the choice, though, if I said, okay, Google or Facebook, you're going Google.
I am going Google, and that's where my money is. That's where I am.
Same with me.
That's where I added to it. I don't think you have to own both. I mean, no law says you got to own them both, right? If Google works, this will work. If this works, Google will work. As Josh points out, it's a duopoly. And I like the fact that Google, which has Gmail and arguably so much more data than Facebook, has not been accused and brought into the fray. Could it happen? Sure. But I just don't believe that they've done, nor will they lie to Congress like Facebook has. And I also believe the management there is better in terms of managing the company versus products, which Facebook does.
Google escaped, to your point, Google escaped the election stuff because they failed in social networking. Google Plus didn't take off. So they did not have the same influence on voters that Twitter and Facebook had. So they got out of all of that. The other thing with Google, a major, major catalyst on the horizon, if you're patient, Uber's S1 will come out at some point so that they can go public in 2019. That will highlight the only real competition that exists for them, ex-Lyft, which is Waymo. And what Google is doing with Waymo, I think, is way, way undervalued relative to Google's market cap. If that thing looks anything like Uber, it would be much bigger if that were a standalone company. So I think that that's another opportunity for Alphabet loans.
I think the reason I'm in Facebook instead of Google is I look at the growth. One of them is growing a lot faster than the other, and the PEs are not as different as people think.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.